Hey guys, how are you? I hope this video will find you well. I would like to introduce you to the third and last segment of the August 2021 Earth Monitor News Bulletin. This one will be dedicated to preparedness and resilience in the context of environmental disaster and special project dedicated to mitigating climate-related issues. This segment will also include our recommended read of the month. Now, if you like the content, this type of content discussing climate change and environmental hazard, please do subscribe to the channel. We'll send you regular updates on a weekly and monthly basis. Or if you want, you can simply leave us a like, which is also very useful to our cause as we're trying to bring more exposure to what we do. So, rescue, preparedness and resilience. In this section, the most prominent news item was the publication in August of the Asia-Pacific Disaster Report 2021. This report addressed the complexity of converging and cascading disasters, natural and biological, presenting the impacts of cascading risk on population and infrastructure, and the current, moderate and worst-case climate change scenarios. It focuses on 4 risk hotspots of particular concern: floods, tropical cyclones, earthquakes, and tsunami. The report makes the case for more purposeful and systematic national action, and also it pledges to government in the Asia-Pacific to increase the allocated resources to combat this type of emergency in the future. The Water Resilience Assessment Framework, the WRAF, was launched during World Water Week, held from the 23rd to the 27th of August. This framework is designed to inform and support decision and action among stakeholders to ensure both short and long-term water system resilience. I guess this is a very interesting initiative, one that will probably be crucial in years to come as more and more countries experience long droughts and water becomes even more like a primary necessity. An interesting article was published by Forbes on the 18th of August with the title 3 Paths towards Climate Resilience. The article discussed various options to achieve climate resilience. He highlighted how a lot of the burden for creating climate resilience is placed at the feet of the insurance industry, which is obviously true. However, the insurers are only part of the solution. To help achieve widespread climate resilience, the article states that 3 things need to be sorted out. The first one is, what climate-related hazards do we know are changing and how? I think to that first question we have the IPCC report, which can probably provide now a good idea of what's going to happen in the future. The second question that the article asks is, when we talk about actions like mitigation, what's possible and what do we mean? And the third question is, do we have the courage to improve climate resilience? I think that they're all 3 very interesting, pertinent questions. It's an interesting article and is obviously part of the selections that we have in our newsletter, which is available in the description section of this video. The next section is special projects. Here we're trying to bring attention to some interesting projects which are basically doing something in terms of trying to tackle climate change with technologies or just with different way of doing things. I think I wanted to highlight how Edinburgh in Scotland, the city of Edinburgh in Scotland, is developing space technology that will provide powerful tools in the battle against climate change with a data-driven innovation initiative. Swiss Re, the insurance giant and carbon removal specialist Climeworks, are partnering to combat climate change by signing the world's first long-term purchase agreement for direct air capture and storage of carbon dioxide. The deal is worth US $10 million over 10 years. For Swiss Re, the collaboration marks a milestone towards the goal of reaching net zero emission in its own operation by 2030. In other news, cities around the world continue to warm, and isn't just because of a changing climate. Massive volumes of concrete built into large blocks of buildings trap the heat generated by the sun, to which heavy traffic on the roads adds yet more heat. This phenomenon is known as the urban heat island effect, and is of a growing concern as air temperatures carry on rising, which can make life a lot less pleasant in cities during warmer months. One solution aimed at mitigating the island effect involves replacing traditional pavements with cool pavements. The benefits of doing so could be considerable. I think it's a cool idea, and one that will see be implemented quite often in several cities across the world as they become hotter. Another company I wanted to mention in this section is the Montauk Seaweed Supply Company based in Montauk, which is a small fishing village at the end of Long Island in New York. This has grabbed the headline in August because the company have basically been selling and using seaweed as a fertilizer, and has devised a kelp-based soil amendment that home gardeners and golf courses can use on their plants rather than chemically laden fertilizers. So I think it's a very important solution. The company has helped rejuvenating a stale maritime industry in the area and is a key promoter and seller of seaweed. Sea kelp is an effective and absorbing carbon in addition to fighting ocean acidification. Scientists at King Abdullah University of Science and Technology Red Sea Research Center estimate that coastal habitats and wetlands absorb 5 times more carbon than terrestrial forest. So with this, we came to an end to that section. Now, special project. Now, the next one, it's a recommended read. I have selected 2 books for you. The first one is called Unsettled. It's written by Stephen Kooning, a leader in US science policy and a former science advisor for the Obama administration. It's an up-to-close political exploration of the many misconception mainstream presentation of climate science, which is far less black and white than many people realize. The second book is called Living in the Long Emergency, written by James Howard Counselor, author of The Long Emergency. He returns with a new book exploring the looming collapse of the techno-industrial economy, featuring profiles of individuals who have drastically altered their lives due to financial difficulties. With this, we conclude our 3rd news bulletin. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to receive similar contents in the future, you can click on the bell icon and subscribe to the channel for future updates, or just leave a like. We really appreciate your support either way. Take care and long live planet Earth.